We have a lot of time for question and answer, but maybe maybe just recap a little bit, which I found were most interesting. One was how at the regional level, analysis of balance of trade between regions, supply chain and migration, demographic issues are still very under-researched in Indonesia. At the national level, we know a lot, but at the regional level, that's actually a weakness in Indonesia. And also, perhaps I want to raise the issue of unexpected events, because as you know, we have several unexpected events just this year alone. And how do you model it? And you provided an approach of integrating spatial and of using spatial and temporal disaggregation, and also using physical and monetary components both together in your analysis. So perhaps two questions for the first session. I think there are each microphones on that side and this side, so maybe one from that, this is like my right side, one from my left side. Any? Yeah, please, silakan ke depan. Anyone, perhaps one more to this side? Silakan, Mas. Or maybe you can speak to the microphone because we are recording so that we can hear your question through the live stream. Yeah, it's awesome.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Geoffrey J.D. from Logistics and Facility Department. Okay. Thank you for the chance, Mr. Professor Geoffrey. An economic impact analysis, or EIA, examines the effect of an economy in a specific area, ranging from a single net profit to the entire level. It usually measures change in business revenue, business profits, personal wage, and or jobs. Yet, even analysis can include implementation of a new wholesale project, or it may simply be the presence of a business or organization. An economic impact analysis is commonly conducted when there is public concern about the potential impacts of proposed project or policy. So here, I just want to ask you about your slide. The statement, there is a statement about traffic war. So going from right now, my question is, how does a trade war between China and America impact to our economy in Indonesia? And how does, for further, the tensions between China and America to impact, especially to our economic exchange rates and economic growth for the suburbs? Again, that's all I can ask you about my question. Thank you for the chance, Mr. Professor Geoffrey.
Thank you very much for your question. It's a very complicated issue, but let me just preface. Normally, what we would hope is that a politician would say, I'm thinking of doing the following, and then contacting some research groups to say, give me a sense of what the likely consequences of this will be, rather than doing it and hoping that the outcome will be what the person is expecting. Because none of us, I think, is able to see around corners very effectively. And I think that the one thing that the formal analysis does provide us with is at least the ability to frame the issue that we might get an upper bound and lower bound in terms of the estimate. Where it becomes more difficult is that depending on the assumption, you might get a positive impact, we might get a negative impact. So in the case of China, I think the expectation was that we would raise our tariffs, but the Chinese would not retaliate. However, they retaliated. So we raised the tariffs again, and the Chinese retaliated. So now we've got a problem of what are we going to do about this? And as I pointed out, in the world economy, production chains have become much more carefully organized than they were 50 years ago. So a disruptive event between China and the US is just not going to stay between China and the US. It's going to affect a lot of producers in third-party countries that are dependent on a lot of the supplies that the US takes from China, adds value to, and then re-exports them somewhere else. Similarly, a lot of Chinese goods and services that go to other countries may not, as a result of these tariffs, be able to be produced at the same low level of cost because demand has decreased. So if you like, you have a shift in demand, it's going to raise the marginal cost of producing 5 less units, 10 less units, 1,000 less units. This is going to change China's competitive position. And I think part of these processes are the indirect complications are very, very difficult to trace. But fortunately now we have OECD database and the World Input-Output database that we can actually begin to see those sort of structures. And colleagues in Australia have begun to do this process looking at the impacts on the US economy. And the casual information that we're getting thus far is very negative and likely to result in a dampening of employment growth by the end of the first quarter, and certainly by the second quarter of next year. Okay. But the more interesting thing is, what does Indonesia benefit or get hurt by this? And I think that there are a couple of things that are very complicated to look at. One of them is the impact it might have on Indonesia's exchange rates and the degree to which Indonesia's debt is dollar denominated or not denominated is going to have one very, very serious consequence. The second part is Indonesia is now increasingly involved in these value chains. And so if suddenly certain types of production are canceled in the US, that means that all the suppliers are going to suddenly find that they have no market for their goods and services. So I think sometime over the course of the next 6 to 12 months, certain types of activities in Indonesia are suddenly going to find that they are struggling to find a market for their products because the one that they formerly went into does not need them anymore because the person at the end of the production process has gone out of business because they're not serving their market or their costs have gone up because these intermediate goods that they bought from China are now 25% more expensive. They have to pass that on, and then consumers say, no, this is too expensive. We're not going to buy it from you anymore. And so, because I have not looked at that data, I cannot tell you which sectors of the Indonesian economy are likely going to be the most exposed. But I think it's something that would be very, very worthwhile for people to start monitoring this, to find out where do Indonesia's exports go directly, but most importantly, indirectly, because the destination of the export is only perhaps an intermediate stop in the process in which it enters the production chain that may end up in a third, fourth, or fifth country before it reaches the final consumer. But I think for us, the hope and expectation would be that our leaders would not necessarily contact me, but with colleagues that are able to provide some insights before they take political action. And I think we would not be in this sort of mess that we're in right now had that happened. Of course, I'm assuming that having received the advice that the person who requested it would follow the advice. And I'm afraid that doesn't seem to be the case in both issues that we're talking about. Thank you for an interesting question.
Any other question? This is a good chance to raise some of your concerns or perhaps some of your questions on the art of modeling for issues that you are facing in your activity or your work. Silakan, Bu.
Thank you, Professor Geoffrey. It's very interesting explanation. My name is Usari from the Institute. You mentioned that the policy interventions need to understand how economic works. And in this case, in the regional government like us, so we have to know how the economy of this regional work and how it related to other regional also to other region and how the migration of the people in there. So my concern is we have some isolated area in this country, like in Papua, for example, and the government has already also do some infrastructure project to make people connected there. But as you mentioned, and one of your explanations, that the impact of the policy will have bigger impact to the area which have higher density of people there. So I just wondering, should we implement our previous program during the Suharto era, like the transmigration, so people will move to that area before we introduce like some infrastructure program, so it would benefit more than like, I don't know whether this infrastructure project would have also the same benefit as if we first move like people to that area first. Thank you.
Yeah. The economic evaluation of the transit processing program was all over the scale. I saw people who claimed it was very successful, other people who said it was no, it was a social disaster, blah, 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 and should never be repeated. So I'm not going to get into that debate because I'm not fully informed. But I think what most people are proposing in, say, the European context, where you have similar isolated regions, is that unless you get a critical mass of people, businesses, and activity, it's going to be very, very hard to have an expectation that real capital is going to rise. So it's not so much that we do infrastructure or we try to get people in economic activity. I think you have to have both. But a lot of activity is not going to locate if it's very difficult to get in and out. And so communication costs are very, very critical. But even so, I think you've got to be much more proactive in terms of thinking about what types of economic activities are going to be commercially successful in a place like that, and expecting to be able to move an United States plant from one part of the country to another part of the country is not true, and it probably would. And so I think this is where the economic analysis comes in to sort of try to evaluate what is the competitive potential for certain types of economic activity, and what sort of demands does it require in terms of supply chain, in terms of the quality of labor, the quality of the housing, and all of this stuff is part of the package. I think you have to look at the region much more, say holistically, rather than say let's do the infrastructure first and then we'll do this, but perhaps do it as a together. But it's still no guarantee that it's going to work. But I think you have a much higher probability of being successful. And now in the European Union, there is a whole new policy initiative coming out now, something called smart specialization. So what you try to do is build on the competitive advantages that already exist in the region, but at the same time, try to diversify away from those and have another area of specialization, which is very, very different than what you have, rather than trying to bring something in. And so what the Europeans refer to this as looking at related varieties. And some colleagues in Austria have noticed that, for example, from Austria, there's a great deal of relationship between export activities. There are different sectors, but the types of goods and services and export are very, very close in terms of their structure, in terms of the markets which they consume, in terms of the inputs that they require, and in terms of the quality of labor that they use. So I feel that's something to build on. Now, in Papua, I have looked at the data and I would not know to venture guess what type of activity would be successful. But I think we can be hopeful in terms of at least trying to frame the discussion in a much more consistent way rather than just let's do this, let's evaluate these things. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Hewings. My name is J.D. I'm from Financial Services Department, Indonesia. So in your presentation, you talk a lot about regional economic development, inter-region trade activities, and how to measure it by using this economic impact analysis. So my question is, because I'm from the macro-prudential financial stability side of Bank Indonesia, my question is, do you think we can adopt this approach to measure financial system stability, at least in the region? Because, due to the recent development, for example, in loan growth, there are some ideas of implementing spatial loan growth. I mean, special measures for loan growth to control loan growth in several regions in Indonesia because excessive loan growth in that part of Indonesia. So do you think we can use this approach? And how to frame it? Thank you.
Thank you for a very interesting question. I think my perspective is the following thing. In the last decade, we've seen organizations like the World Bank, OECD, Asian Development Bank, Inter-American Development Bank, basically come to the conclusion that they cannot talk about countries as homogeneous entities. And the sources of inequality come about because of spatial inequalities. And so my comment about Brazil, when they enacted the tariff policy, did not consider the fact that one part of the country would have very positive outcome, another part would have a very negative outcome. So increasingly, these organizations are trying to understand how do we do regional macroeconomic analysis that we can then integrate with our standard macroeconomic analysis. So we can capture some of the spatial variation that's likely to take place from any policy, and particularly those what I call earlier, those spatially blind policies. Monetary policy is not spatially blind. I mean, it's spatially blind, its economic impact is not homogeneous across the country. All right? If interest rates go up, it's not going to have the same impact in one part of the country than another. If you have tariff increases or decreases, as the Brazil experience show, you're going to have a very differential impact. So I think what we need to do is try to understand how the internal structure, the interregional, interprovincial structure of a country like Indonesia works, so that we can be cognizant of the fact that when we make a decision at the macroeconomic level, it might have unintended negative or unintended positive consequences in areas that we did not expect. Because now we understand that our economy is comprising an internal structure which a standard macroeconomic model does not embrace. And so I think a lot of places now are beginning to do this. So in Brazil, they have developed a very nice set of regional macroeconomic tools that they can then use to test the impact of any change in policy. The last few years, unfortunately, the political crisis in Brazil has precluded any real formal analysis because the issues of presidency impeached and election coming up have all changed those dynamics. But I think what we would argue is that if you don't do that, you have no hope to really address issues of inequality. And increasingly, if you listen to people like Joe Stiglitz, the late Helen Atkinson, they're making, I think, a very, very strong case that a country's economic development is going to be limited if we don't address the issues of inequality. And I think that to do that, you've got to move below the national level. You've got to address issues of spatial and interpersonal inequality. And you've got to try to frame your analysis in a way that can provide some insight. And it doesn't mean that necessarily that macro policy is going to be changed, but what you are going to be very much aware of, it's not going to have a homogeneous insight. And I'd be very encouraged to see, as I said, so many of these international organizations now really embracing this understanding. And in the 30 years I've been coming to Indonesia, I mean, this country just seems so strong that you have to do this because this is not a homogeneous place. And I think that makes it very, very compelling. And it's not that difficult.
Bila ingin mengajukan pertanyaan dalam bahasa Indonesia juga bisa.
I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Geoffrey J.D. I'm from Ministry of Finance. I'm working under State Asset Management Unit under International Finance. So recently, my unit did research on the impact of LNG import now. So it's a small city in Sulawesi, and so it is predicted that the LNG supply there will be depleted and gone totally in 2030. So we are currently bring that message that to the policy maker in that city that we need to do something in order to replace the economic loss due to the LNG supply depletion. And then there are my question is, based on your experience dealing with the politicians, how can you convince them? I know it's so we have the research already. We know that what can we improve based on the research. What can we improve in order to, like making a different development in different areas, except LNG sector. We know that that's on the research, but we have a problem in how we can raise that awareness among the policymakers in that city. That's my question. Thank you.
Interesting question. Thank you. How would I do it? And don't follow my recommendation. In a case like this, when I feel strongly that mistakes have been made and opportunities have been missed, I would call my friends and press. Okay, I call the meeting. I have a nice story, and I hope to help you from the press. They don't like to work too hard. Okay, and so when I call them up, oh, you have a story for me? Oh, great. That means in 1 hour I can write the story and then I can spend the rest of the day doing something. So they're very happy. But some of them, have monitored these sort of processes, economic might take this sort of material that I would buy and embed it in a much broader context. I'm not making some confrontation, but at least put it in a way that this is going to be a missed opportunity, and we really need to think about it. And I have found that the press is probably the best source of information for politicians. If they read, I give you one example. We did this study about this income inequality in Chicago for a organization that is trying to enhance development. And they said to me, I want you to write a technical report. I said, wait a minute, you're asking an academic to write a technical report. Do you really know what you're asking? Oh, yeah, I want a technical report. So I'm going to the place and giving a presentation of our results. And the person who's asking for this introduces us. Yeah, we've had a great time. We really have good stuff. And I asked them for a technical report. Well, here it is. And test me since, can you translate this into English? Because they did not know what they were asking. The newspaper guys are usually much better at that than I am. Because they are experienced in writing for a general audience. And a good newspaper person will often have a conversation with me, write a story, send it to me, and then say, what have I misinterpreted? Can you help me with this and that about it? And maybe this might occur over a couple of iterations before they write it. They are much more effective than me. Because if the politicians know, oh God, this damn professor, listen to him, he's so boring. And they just don't think that I have anything that I can communicate with. But if I go through the newspaper, then somehow they sort of see that as giving great business. And for people in the private sector, they are much more impressed with my getting involved in the New York Times or the Chicago Tribune than in an academic journal. I've often been introduced, oh, this guy had a great article in the Chicago Tribune. Yeah, but I have some other things in academic journals. They don't have it. They don't know what it means, and they don't know the reasons. So I think that's the sort of thing I do now. I had a warning beginning. That's what I do. Okay. I don't know what your position is. I do know you have a lovely minister because she graduated from the University of Oklahoma. But I don't know the context. And one thing I have learned is what works in one country may not work in another. But that's, you asked me what I would do. That's what I would do in the U.S. Okay. In Indonesia, I should never do it. No. If you wanted to do it, I would help you in terms of framing and so on. But you would be the one.
I actually agree with your comment. But the thing is, we're talking about LNG sector, which is very, we can say, confidential information, especially when we talk about the region that's going to be played. So we have a case in Loksumaway in Aceh. So no one talked about it at that time. So no one paid attention. So the area, the LNG plant area is now like a dead city. Yeah, if you go to, that's really bad. And there's a confidential issue that we are afraid of. Yeah, it's really.
Yeah, and the other thing you have to be aware of, as you were talking, one of my former students directs a similar lab at West Virginia. And when he went there, he went into a local bar because he thought he should make friends with the local people. And I asked him, what are you going to do? He says, I'm going to try to help improve the economic growth and development of the state of West Virginia. And the general comment was, we like it just the way it is. In other words, we don't want some outsider coming in and telling us what to do. So that's another issue we have to face. Appalachia is probably the most impoverished part of the because it goes from Mississippi all the way up into New York. So maybe per capita incomes are very low. It's had a history of very poor growth. But it's very, very hard to get people to buy into these developments. And so you get the socialities, but a lot of places like you just described, dead cities. If you go into a place called Uniontown, Pennsylvania, you drive down 8% of the shops in the center are closed. But then somebody comes along and says, hey, I can help you. So that's another notion.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, the microphone is being passed. I think one of the aims of the Forum Kajian Pembangunan, an event like this, is to create a discussion based on a strong academic formal analysis. And I think, if your perspective is it's a secret, then there's nothing really that can be done. But we are in a democracy, and Forum Kajian Pembangunan tries to create this discussion so that the discussion is not based on partisan or biased perspective, but actually on formal analysis. So I think one way is also to encourage always these kinds of discussions with strong, as you say, analytical or research results.
But it's very hard sometimes not to get it wrong. And particularly when things involve environmental issues, I find it very hard to. I did a study of the coal industry in Illinois, and a lot of my friends said, why are you doing that? It's so bad. Yeah, but I think it's much better that we have a professionally conducted analysis, and we can make decisions rather than relying on what I call casual criticism. But yes, it was very hard for me to not want to reject my personal feelings. I hope I did not, but that's how it becomes this. Sorry.
Thank you. My name is Yuni from Risk Management Department in Indonesia. Thank you very much for the presentation, Professor Hewing. I think it's very enlightening. Especially, maybe you haven't heard that a central bank has a risk management department, but as a matter of fact, the BI has one. Not so many central banks think about the enterprises management at the moment, but in Indonesia, we have developed this for the last 3 years, and it's getting more attention from the board. We try to look at the risks from the central bank point of view in our role in the economy and in Indonesia. And one of the interesting risks is policy risk that hasn't been touched by any other central banks, and we have asked IMF for that, and they say actually maybe you're the first one who think about it. But actually now our board is very concerned about that. So I think your presentation on the economic impact analysis is very important to measure the effectiveness of policy that was made by central banks and also governments. But in this case, it's more on the fiscal and economic interventions. But I do hope maybe in the future there will be like more research on the impact of central banks' policies, the effectiveness. Because now we are also facing a very challenging situation. And in my department, we have a responsibility to show the world what is actually the top 10 risks in the next year that are facing our institution. And also now, because our challenge is also to cooperate with the government to be able to produce effective policies. Not only in the monetary, but also in the other sectors, how we can contribute on that.
and this is very interesting. But as you mentioned, we have challenges, especially on the unexpected event analysis and also for the spillover. I think those are two more, something that we cannot, until now we cannot predict and solve it. For example, in our case, maybe digital economy will be very challenging situation, and also cyber risk, cyber attack, cyber risk. Actually, I would like to ask, based on your experiences across the nations and also with the Federal Chicago, how actually the policies can be addressed to the government, to the banks, and how can we because you also mentioned that actually you hope that the advice and analysis can be solved, and we are trying to improve and to make the policymakers aware on the policies that they are doing or they're taking. And what is your experiences across the country, and especially in the US? Because at the moment, the Trump administration looks like your soybean farmers, he doesn't quite listen to the advices as well.
No, well, let's hope, let's quickly dismiss this. Let's hope this is an unexpected event that we won't have to model very much longer. Let me go to your question. Some relates to your colleague back there. I think one of given that you have this unit within the bank, I think one of the things that would be very important to do is to find out how homogeneous macroeconomic policy is in terms of its spatial impact of Indonesia. And I think having that information, I think, would be incredibly valuable so that people can have a sense, no matter what we do in this case, it doesn't affect this part of the country differently than this part. However, this particular policy has very, very significant variations. And I think knowing that would probably be the best contribution you could make to policy debate. Because a lot of policymakers, particularly if they come out of the macro tradition, don't think spatial. When I talk to them about spatial, what means spatial stuff? They're thinking we said rockets up in this case. No. We're thinking about how there's components of our economy and how they respond. So in the U.S., formal regional development policy funding is 0.015% of our budget. Triple, couple of $1 billion. So the question then becomes, what about the rest of the government's budget? How does it affect regional policy? The answer is very differential. For example, 30% of the U.S. government budget is defense spending. We don't have but one defense installation in the state of Illinois. Right? So we are 5% of the U.S. economy and 0.00003% of the defense spending. Does that mean that it's non-homogeneous? Exactly. So we increase defense spending, we don't benefit as much as otherwise. We don't know this. We haven't done it for every particular part of the budget. And I think knowing this one for Indonesia would be incredibly valuable, because I'm convinced that these spatially blind policies have a bigger spatial impact than people are aware of. And looking at data for a couple of countries where we have explored, that is certainly being the case. And I think this way you can at least have a sense of what the policymaker is going to do, and point out that if you change interest rates, this is going to be the effect on my change is going to be different than the effect on Chicago. And so having a sense of the spatial heterogeneity of the economy, I think, would be an incredibly valuable contribution that you could make. And I, as a policymaker, would be very, very happy to have this information, because moment I don't. So thank you for a wonderful question.
Silakan, dirikan.
Thank you for a very interesting presentation. My name is Anita from the Australian Embassy. I'm just responding to your sharing your experience doing the whole study. I was wondering how far should we, or how far did you account for environmental externalities when you're doing the impact analysis, especially when you're doing it spatially? Infrastructure development, for example, in one region would have very positive economic impact, but then resources taken for that infrastructure from another region would have a probably negative impact.
So thank you. First question, yes, we identified the economic impacts, but the whole goal of the project was to try to develop a resource that we had in the state which had high sulfur, and therefore demand was decreases in other ways, converting into gas, liquefaction, and so on and so forth. That would minimize the environmental externalities. The main outcome was that in the intervening time, fracking came along, and natural gas has just eliminated demand for coal. And even though Trump said he was going to open the mines, the electric utility companies said, we don't want one. Because we have to store this stuff, it's expensive, it ends up polluting rivers, we get into trouble, and having to pay a lot of costs. Natural gas, we do this, and it comes in, we turn on the generator, and within an hour, we've got electricity. With the coal-fired furnace, it takes us half a day to get it up and running. So the market is helping a lot in terms of signaling stuff that turns out very fortuitous to be environmental friendly. I got so wrapped up and I forgot the second part. I apologize.
In terms of other examples, for example, in the environmental economic analysis, when, say, you're evaluating the economic impact of infrastructure development in one region.
Yeah. The slides I ran through, because at the time, we have been trying to model the Indonesian economy in terms of, at the provincial level, if this province grows, which other province benefits from this? And if this province declines, which other provinces are hurt? And what we find interestingly, in contrast to a lot of what we've done in other countries, is a much more negative interaction in the Indonesian case. And we're trying to understand why that is. So this is looking at it without doing the sort of specificity that you were addressing, for example. I built a road across this particular province, but I'm extracting raw materials from some other, I'm creating environmental negative externalities elsewhere. We haven't done that. So the focus has been much more on just trying to understand the dynamics of those economies at a very macro level rather than a sector level. So if I could find some other Indonesian student who would like to come to Illinois to do a Ph.D. and work on this, I would be very delighted, because we've got a lot of the data, we have the methodology, but we don't have the body. And the one thing about the University of Illinois is there are no externalities. You're not going to sit in your office and say, oh my God, this is beautiful mountain up there, I could be hiking, or I could be skiing, or I could be boating. But if you're doing a PhD, you should not be discovered. Right? And you can Google somewhere where it's from. So that's how I sell Illinois. Except 2 hours and 15 minutes away, is the most fabulous city, Chicago. And I'm biased, I live there, but it is incredible. So that's when you reward yourself after you've done something, you can spend a nice long weekend in Chicago. But no more than a weekend. Get your back to go down this mountain. Thank you for the interesting question.
I think perhaps we have one more question, one time for one more, if you would like to ask. Anyone from the back? It's all in the front, but anyone in the back wants to ask? Okay. Satu lagi ya, satu di depan, satu lagi di belakang. Silakan.
So, Professor, thank you very much for the presentation. It was really compelling. My name is Cynthia from Australian Embassy. So, my question is pretty straightforward. What do you think the role of the private sector is in leveraging the market competitiveness to influence the policy in Indonesia? Thank you.
Good question. I think most people see the private sector as somehow in conflict with policy. I think what I have learned over 30 years of working in there is that most of the time it's positive. This is positive synergies between what they want and what we want. Sometimes that involves providing additional information and providing some additional perspectives so that the individuals are not going to look at it very myopically. And I think that one of the really positive benefits from the Chicago region's economies, we've always had strong participation from the private sector. So that the expectation is that you come in as a CCO, that you want to get involved with the Chamber of Commerce, to get involved with the local cultural institutions, and to see that as a part of your role in enhancing the competitiveness of the region's economy by devoting attention to those sort of non-economic policies that make it important. And it was interesting when the Boeing aircraft company, which is not very popular in Indonesia at the moment, because it's what happened with Lion Air, when they were thinking about moving their headquarters away from Seattle, when they came to Chicago, they were showing facilities and places where they could locate. But most of the attention was paid on cultural assets of the region and the role in which CEOs play. And so the formal dinner we had was hosted in the Art Institute of Chicago, and the chorus of the World Opera Company came in and performed. Because they wanted to say we are different from a lot of other cities in which you expect the private sector to be involved in the cultural fabric of the region. And if this is not something attractive, then you should drop money. They didn't say that, but that was the indication. And so I think that in many cases that the private sector has understood that if you have lousy schools, then you have employees who are not going to be productive. So you need to make sure that the schools are very high quality. If your employees are not happy living in the region, they're not going to be productive, and they'll probably see work elsewhere. So I think what we try to do is sort of generate a sense that the sort of positive externalities that come from this sort of tension have private rents to the individual firms. You have a happy employee who just thinks this is a great place to live. They can be much more productive. You have an employee, God, I hate this place, I can't wait to get out. What is that going to do for his sort of productivity? And so I think trying to make those sort of cases are very, very important. And so a lot of the stuff that we have done on the sort of the cultural side has really resonated. And I think that the private sector sort of sees this very much as important. And as I said, the millennials are just eating up, living downtown. They're just happy campus. Yeah, some of them are lousy this time. So they're inside having dances and discos. They don't care stuff. And I think this is part of the process. And I think a lot of that comes from the leadership in the city. And we've had a succession of mayors who are really proactive. Richard J.D. was mayor for 26 years. People said, well, when are you going to run for governor? When are you going to run for president? He said, no, I've got the best job in the U.S. I love this system. And it was very clear. He would go to Ireland and talk about Chicago. It was harder to get a ticket than he had Beatles, because he had that sort of charisma that people appreciated. And the private sector folks responded. I mean, we had the Democratic National Convention. He had Republicans running different parts of the event, the telecommunications, the logistics, and so on. Why? Because they saw it was in the best interest of the city to make this successful, even though they were Republicans. So, a long answer to your question, but I think it comes from the leadership of the city and the region. And if you don't have a good person who can explain that, then the private sector is going to be very mild. One more from the back here.
Thank you very much, Professor Hewings. I'm Lutfa from Indonesian Institute of Sciences. You mentioned about the role of R&D in the national development is very critical. But as a matter of fact, most of developing countries is still limited in allocating on the national R&D budget. For Indonesia, our gross expenditure or R&D is only less than 1% or 0.25% of national GDP. In addition, most of research results are still questioning from some policy makers. In your perspective, do you know how to prove to the policymakers that R&D result has a significant impact on economic growth? Thank you very much.
I think the easiest way is to put them on a plane and send them to a couple of European countries, to send them to Japan, to Korea, and they can see examples of what has happened when you invest in the sort of R&D in a very, very proactive way. I always like the Korean case where each ministry had an R&D think tank. And Korean students could not wait to finish their PhDs to get back because they knew they were going to be able to work on very new, very innovative things that had a very high probability of being adopted. So that's one example. But I think we'll find most countries provide significant financial incentives for firms and activities to engage in R&D. The commentary that I've heard is that the whole patenting process in Indonesia is difficult. So if I develop a new idea, how quickly can I protect it and so forth? A lot of places now have very accelerated systems. The other aspect is that in the U.S. we are using the universities as a major source. So on most university campuses now, you will find research parks where companies are coming because they know they have access to very high quality students, some of whom they get when they're undergraduates, some of whom are working on masters or PhDs. And they get involved in this at a very, very early age. And so there's a very nice synergism between the university and these research operations. So they sign contracts about sharing any patent revenues and any new innovations and so on. But I think that is probably something, I don't know whether it occurs or not in Indonesia, but I think in the US, that's probably one of the most successful innovations that has taken place in the last 20 years. And I think it's been very attractive because an increasing share of those folks in those R&D operations are international students. as I point out to people, I don't care about our trade deficit with China. If they want to make the stuff that goes in the department stores for people to put in their holiday stockings, get presents to their kids, that's fine. As long as we have a positive trade in intellectual capital with the students, we can keep it. Again, I disagree with our current leader that I think we should be encouraging more and more of those people to stay, which is not good news for Indonesia. Because some of those are Indonesian students. We want to keep them in the U.S. because they're bright, they're innovative, and just the sort of people we need talents. So I don't know whether you're doing something similar in Indonesia, places like other major universities. But if not, you should. Because I think it's probably the most successful rate of return on investment that you'll ever achieve. Thank you.
I think that concludes our session today. I'm not going to take a long time in summarizing, but I think two things emerge. One is a set of questions on method applications, how to assess impacts, and I would urge you to look at the website of REAL, economic laboratory that is being led by Professor Hewings. You'll find a lot of papers and a lot of ideas on approaches that you can implement for your analysis for certain problems. And the second is questions or discussions on strategies, how to convince policymakers, how to involve the private sector. And I think we were very happy to get some insight from your decades of experience, successful experience in communicating science and research results to a wider range of stakeholders. So perhaps a round of applause. For your time and for sharing. And that concludes the session. The video will be up on YouTube. You can refer your colleagues to watch it if you'd like them to hear the lecture. And I think Bank Indonesia and Bapanas are providing lunch, so feel free to join and network during lunch. Thank you again.
Thank you for a very insightful presentation. Once again, we big applause for Professor Geoffrey.